Throughout Avatar, Sokka's insecurities are hinted at, with his over-masculinity, him often getting flustered with Toph's jokes about him being an unbender, and the feeling that he has that Katara has done a better job at being the parent than he has, despite him being older. And I think his insecurities really come to the forefront with the beginning of Sokka Master. Sokka at the beginning is eager and willing to help put out the fires, but when Aang tells him to watch Momo instead, he can't help but feel depressed and useless. He does try to help by putting out one single fire, but when he realizes what he's able to do is significantly less than the rest of the group, even compared to that of Momo, who was able to put out 5 fires compared to his 1. His lack of confidence and his belief that he does not matter to the group increases to the point where the weight of it all causes him to sit down because they don't need him. From the get-go of Avatar, he's this incredibly confident individual, assured in his resolve to protect the members of the Southern Water Tribe, even going headfirst against a Fire Nation platoon not once, but twice, even though he knows he's outclassed and outmasked. This is a common thing with Sokka. Right, he always seems confident, whether if this is with his combat skills, his leadership ability, or his belief or more or less lack of belief in the spirit world. And I think I need to stress one particular part of that sentence. He seems confident. It's not that he is confident, because he's not. In truth, he's worried and scared. Most of his actions he takes, he does out of fear or failure. Because to him, he has already failed twice. Once being unable to protect his mother, and the other time with protecting Yue. The concept of protecting the ones you love and masculinity go hand in hand for him. He works incredibly hard to make sure the people he cares about are protected, so the fate of his mother and Yue does not repeat themselves. For example, him protecting Katara from Aang when he burns her hand, or Suki despite not needing his protection, and even stating at the end of the episode,
"Came along because I wanted to make sure you got through the Serpent's Pass safely. But now I need to get back to the other Kyoshi warriors."
So you came along to protect me?
During the Serpent's Pass. As Avatar progresses and the benders within the group become more and more powerful, they need his protection less and less. When he finally realizes this, his role within the group shifts to much more of a leadership role. But you can also tell that he's deeply bothered by it. He feels in a way that he is a failure because everyone is protecting him and not the other way around. And I think this is why Sokka and his master is such an important episode, because it's the first time he admits his own insecurities and the feelings of being useless, not just to the audience, but to himself.
But the fact is, each of you is so amazing and so special, and I'm not. I'm just the guy in the group who's regular.
It's the first step to his healing. It's through him admitting and talking about his own insecurities, ones that he's carried on his own for much of the series. This feeling that he has hit his zenith point, then allows Aang to suggest what he needs to master, so he may grow and develop. You can argue up until that point, Sokka has had only one on-screen master when it comes to combat throughout the series, and that's Suki. She was the first person to teach Sokka combat skills, and his first introduction with Suki and Piandao is night and day, demonstrating just how much Sokka has grown through his journey. When he is first in the Kyoshi Warriors dojo, he mocks them with overconfidence. Despite never being formally trained, he believes he's better than them and is capable of easily defeating them, merely for the fact that they're women. But when he asks to be taught by Piandao, he's humble. He does not try to sell himself as a great warrior. He openly admits that he knows nothing, And it seems a little odd. He has been in fights with an incredible amount of talented and powerful firebender warriors, but it's kind of something you learn the more you learn about something. The more you realize, the less you actually know about it. Sokka has grown a lot, not just in the terms of being more respectful, but in his terms of skills. He knows there's a lot for him to learn still. And it's his growth and understanding of this which compels Piandao to teach Sokka. He does not have to worry about arrogance with him. Throughout the training montage of the episode, Sokka seems to fail almost every step of the way. There is the way we as the audience expects him to do, and it's what he actually does. The montage sequence is humorous and funny, but it also demonstrates Sokka's ultimate strength, creativity. He takes the rules and instructions that are laid out in front of him and finds an opening to them. Adding his presence by painting his face and pressing it on the paper isn't exactly what Piandao meant, but it is following his instructions. He did add his identity to the piece of paper. In his first sword fight, his sword is easily knocked out of his hand, and he goes running around like an idiot. But as Sokka learns to focus more on the creative side in an unconscious way, his skills improve. He becomes better at understanding his opponent's movements and finding their weak points. But despite this, he still feels as if he failed his training because he did not do what was expected of him. I think Sokka was hooked on a mental image that he associates with success. And because of it, he is not able to see how much he has grown. I think sometimes we focus on a part of us, a segment that we define ourselves based on. We ignore all the other parts that make us who we are. To us, they just don't matter. We could be a master at an incredible amount of things, but still feel worthless if we are unable to master that one task. Even though he feels worthless because he cannot protect the people he cares about, and his power level pales in comparison to the other members of the group, he is still an incredibly important member of the group, able to both lead them and to create those small moments of relief that the group so desperately needs. As his training is going on, the other members of Team Avatar are kind of lifeless, if you would. They're unsure of what to do with themselves, and just mope around while Sokka is gone. When he comes back for their help to move the meteor rock, they're ecstatic and happy about his return because to them, he is an important member of the group, and they missed him a lot. When Sokka is praised for his intelligence, his creativity, and his perseverance, instead of being quiet and accepting this praise, he feels guilt for tricking Piandao. Even though this might mean death, he has to tell the truth or he will be unable to live with himself. A very much contradiction to the kid pretending to be the soldier in the Northern Water Tribe. He is no longer this reckless individual, but one that has a code of moral honor he lives by. As much as I would like to talk about the fight sequence itself, I can't really say anything that the episode doesn't say itself. But to me, the much more interesting thing is not the fight itself, but what happens before the fight.
No, this is my fight. Alone.
This is his chance to prove to himself that he can do this, that he is capable of fighting other opponents and does not need the assistance of other members of Team Avatar. I kind of feel like if Aang helped him out, then Sokka would kind of sink into a deeper level of depression over this. Sokka Master is Sokka's episode. It allows us to see just how much he has grown throughout the series, from a sexist, overconfidently overmasculine man to someone that is, despite them questioning their own worth, an important member of Team Avatar. And through his training, he's better able to understand what makes him him, and the worth that he has to the group. Okay, if I'm being honest with you, I loved this episode when I was younger for one reason: the meteor sword. I mean, come on, it's a space sword. How awesome is that? If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It really does help with getting these videos out there. I'm the Forgotten Critic, and once again, I have been forgotten. I have to go call my friends because they left me in the weapon shop again.